Samuel's story begins not with Samuel, but with his mother. Hannah was a woman whose pain was public and whose grief had no socially acceptable outline. She was barren in a culture that defined a woman's worth largely through her ability to bear children. She had a husband who loved her and a rival wife who taunted her about it annually at the temple. She had God, which was all she ultimately had, and which turned out to be enough. At the tabernacle in Shiloh, she prayed with such silent, shaking desperation that the priest Eli thought she was drunk. She explained herself, her emptiness, her vow, her plea. If God gave her a son, she would give him back to God. God remembered her. She conceived. She named the baby Samuel, heard by God, and when he was weaned, she walked him to the tabernacle and left him in Eli's care, as she had promised. On the third time, Eli understood what was happening and gave Samuel the instruction that changed his life. Go and lie down, and if he calls you, say, Speak, Lord, for your servant hears. God called a fourth time. Samuel answered, and the word God gave him was a judgment so heavy that Samuel lay still until morning, afraid to tell the old priest what he had heard. When Eli asked, Samuel told him everything. Eli received it with a broken dignity. He is the Lord. Let him do what seems good to him. Samuel grew, and his reputation grew with him. Every word he spoke came true. All Israel from Dan to Beersheba recognized him as a prophet. He became the last judge of Israel and the first in the new era. When Israel demanded a king, Samuel warned them with extraordinary specificity about what kingship would cost. Their sons conscripted, their daughters taken, their land taxed, their freedom curtailed. They insisted. Samuel found a tall, impressive young man named Saul and anointed him. When Saul's repeated disobedience disqualified him from God's blessing, it was Samuel who carried the most painful assignment of his ministry, going to Saul, still king, still in possession of his title and his army, and telling him the kingdom was being taken from him, and then go into Bethlehem, to the house of a man named Jesse, to anoint a replacement. 7 sons passed before him. 7 times Samuel felt the restraint of God. This is not the one. He asked if there were any others. There was one more, the youngest, out in the fields with the sheep. When the boy walked in, sunburned and ruddy and bright-eyed, God said simply, Arise, anoint him, for this is he. His name was David. Samuel poured the oil. The Spirit of God rushed upon the boy from that day forward. And Samuel, who had spent his life listening for a voice in the dark, had found the one who would carry Israel's story into its next and greatest chapter.